Hey, welcome back to yet again another episode of my channel. I don't have any like fancy titles or anything, but welcome to this Wednesday's episode, and I continue to share with you my journey of my self-diagnosis. Don't know what part this is. I didn't realize that this particular part of the story would be so long, but here we go. So, where we left off before was a very vulnerable space of where I shared with you guys how I used to binge very religiously, like almost every Friday after I got home from work back in 2012. Yeah, 2012. I keep saying 2012. 2012, 2013. And so now I want to continue on with this story, and I want to wrap this part of my story up by sharing with you what I didn't realize was the issue with binge eating. So here's the thing. I found out, through Google search, that I was struggling with binge eating disorder. I was doing all my research about it. I was learning about how people have recovered from it, the meal plans, the mental programs. I think it was cognitive brain therapy or something like that. There's so many resources out there. There's so many ways that you can get help with eating disorders. I was trying to figure out if I even needed that. And me being me, I was like, well, you know what? I'll be fine. I'm just going to stop binging. I'm just going to stop, struggling with that. Every time I find myself wanting to do that, I'm just not going to do it. It doesn't work like that. Here's the issue. I continued to restrict. I continued to deprive myself of vital nutrients, crash diet, fast, cleanse, whatever. I continued to restrict physically and mentally to the point where my body naturally wanted to binge eat and eat all of the things, all the calories that it needed to survive and to maintain and to thrive. My body, she wanted to get that in a very extreme way. And so that's what happened. And I didn't know that. I didn't correlate the two. I didn't realize it was a cycle and you had to get out of the cycle. And we'll get to that in just a moment. So this leads me to about 2013, 14, maybe even 15. One of those years, I'm not sure, but I've always wanted to reach the goal of 145. That was like my golden number on the scale. That was gonna make every problem in my life go away. I was gonna be happy forever and have no issues, no body image issues, no health issues, and I was just gonna be so happy. And so by any means necessary, I was willing to get to that number. And so what did I do? I went on another cleanse. The same thing I did back when I was in high school, 16 years old, the first time I ever fasted. That's what I did. I want to say this was 2014. Yep, it was like 2013, 2014. I was very much in my 20s, like an adult. I was not a teenager anymore. So I made the executive decision to go on yet again another 21-day juice fast cleanse thing. And by the end of that cleanse, I exuded all the discipline that I needed, all the willpower that I needed to get through. Stepped on the scale after not eating anything for 21 days, and I was 145. I made it. I was so proud of myself. I felt good. I felt healthy, relatively. And yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I made it. And the thing that was different this time around, I will say, was that I dedicated to a lifestyle change. I dedicated to eating a whole foods, plant-based diet instead of just vegetarian, vegan-ish, junk food, whatever I was doing. And you like the hands? And I knew that was going to help me sustain all the hard work that I put in on this 21-day cleanse. And so I will say it went pretty well as far as me nourishing my body afterwards. I began to meal prep. I began to cook at home predominantly, eat out very rarely. I began to just really police my food to the point where I wasn't eating any salt, sugar, or fat. Everything was just whole foods, plant-based, no oils, no anything. And I did that for a while. I did that for about a month or so. Then eventually I snapped because I was still restricting mentally, even though I'm eating great food. Eating a whole foods plant-based diet it can be very balanced and can be very good for you. There's nothing wrong with the diet itself. It was my mentality that I could not have this anymore. I could not have that anymore. So I had to stick to this for the rest of my life. And if I eat this way, I'll maintain this physique. I'll maintain how I look. And granted, I was also working out like 5 to 6 days a week. So I was starting to see muscle definition. I was starting to see a really great improvement in my health. But the key thing was it wasn't sustainable mentally for me personally because of the things that I've come out of and the things I was dealing with and the way that I looked at food, my relationship with food. That's a key thing. Outrightly, people looked at me like, oh, you're so healthy. You're making all these great choices. You work out. Your body looks great. You eat so clean. I admire this. I admire that. But only if they knew my mental state was not healthy. The way that I viewed food and my body was not healthy. I want to share something with you in the next video about how it felt to get to that perfect number, how it felt to be at my dream and goal weight. It's not what you think it is. In my experience, it was something else. I'm going to share that with you in the next video. So stay locked in, stay tuned in, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with me, friend. Bye-bye.